Hello there, welcome to GMT Driving School, and in this one we're going to have a look at some of the common difficulty areas in the Gosforth test area. So we can see already we've got this 40 zone here, so I'd like to just make people a little bit more familiar with the surrounding area of the test centre. Some of the not difficult but the more challenging areas, if you've done most of your training in Blythe and Ashton and Morpeth and places like that, it's quite an interesting area. So here's the first one. It's next to the racecourse. It's a 50 zone. Used to be called the Mad Mile until they put a roundabout slap bang in the middle. So remember, this is a 50 zone now, despite it being a dual carriageway. And there's a repeater on the left and a no stopping sign. So we've got traffic lights coming up. So on this next roundabout, it's quite easy because it has the traffic light system. The sign up there on the left looks a little confusing, but remember, just add your 12 o'clock rule and you'll be able to find out what lane you need. Easy peasy. So green light, I think my student was slowing right down for a stop here until I reminded them that a green light does in fact mean go, Thea. It means go. And again, coming off it on this 50, you've got the pedestrian crossing there. That was all added because of the new housing area on the left, bus stop on the left, so you'd have to be aware of that if there was a bus attempting to pull out. There's a lane to your right to use. Repeaters of 50 there, and yet another roundabout coming up. Well, nothing unusual or difficult about this roundabout other than, I suppose, it's busyness because we're starting heading towards Newcastle and the Gosforth area. So just have your wits about. You'd probably choose your 20 mph third gear approach speed for this one before you get to this point. So when you roll around the corner, you can do your judgment, see if you're safe to go. It is quite busy in busy times. So just being aware that the faster speed on the approach is only because the visibility is very good and the steering is quite easy and lots of space. Okay, this next roundabout, again, according to that sign, a nice basic roundabout with 4 exits, 30 mph zone, as you can see. You can choose straight ahead in both lanes, but recommended you should be in the left lane unless you're overtaken. But in a 30, there shouldn't be too much in the way of opportunity there. So I suppose if you're going to take the right lane for straight ahead on that one, it's probably something to do with a slower moving vehicle like a cyclist or a milk float or something like that. Now everyone seems to be diving in that right hand lane because historically that was always a bus lane on the left, but as you can see, it doesn't seem to be one now, so we're in good position where we should be for going ahead. Lots of crossings, but that would be a puffin crossing. We could tell by the little laser beams at the top. Okay, so I've asked the candidate to turn right at the next set of traffic lights at the crossroads. So again, it's not that hard, all right? When you're down the Gosforth area, one of the key things is it's busier, yes, but everything's well signed and well marked. You know, there's lots of space down there, seemingly compared to places like Alnwick and Blythe. So we're turning right, so we're just going to obey the road surface and take the right-hand lane and do our stop. The first stop line, as you can see, we've pulled up at is the appropriate one. The next one obviously is for bikes. If you went to the second one, that'll be an instant fail. And as you're waiting for the lights to change, you should look ahead, plan ahead and see where you're going to place your car for your inevitable right turn. So when we get a green light, if you look forward, you can see the arrow on the floor. That's what you should aim for. I think when we move forward, we go a little bit too far forward. So there's the green. We move forward to the turning point, which is that arrow, which we do, and then we seem to straighten up and move forward further still. That looks quite far away, but because of the distortion in the lens, that's pretty close to that Golf in front. So the client is kind of stopped being able to see down the road very well because of the position. So remember, when you stop your car, so you can see very well and that you're not going to block anyone.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think you'll have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right. When you came to me, oh, I knew it's you, yeah, boy. The one who showed me now and forever. No, you'll never be alone again. All day, oh yeah, all day. Please stay in my arms, boy. The one who showed me if we're together.
Okay, coming back towards the crossroads now from a different direction. We've got a meeting situation coming up, so we are reasonably well placed there to wait for the white car. So remember not to pull in left, to stay to the white line. You're still leaving a full lane to your right for people to get by you. So if you feel you have to stop because of clearance, you should stop where you can see and close to the white line if appropriate and safe. I've asked the driver to turn left here, so it's green light, turning left. That means you have right of way over anybody else. except pedestrians and vulnerable road users, of course. But the client slows down for that black car there as if they had the full right of way. Remember, when you turn in left, you get the right of way over them.
No, you'll never be alone again. All day, oh yeah, all day. Please stay in my arms, boy. The one to show me if we're together. It don't matter if it rains. All day, oh yeah, all day. As long as you're in my arms, boy. Don't worry of tomorrow. For now, you're everything in my day. I love the way you like a song. You know my heart. 'Cause you know me, know my heart. You're everything in my day. I love the way you know my heart. Yeah, alright. The one to show me now and forever. No, you'll never be alone again. All day, oh yeah, all day. I can let you know that you're my boy. The one to show me if we're together.
Right, again, if you look at the arrows on the floor, you can see the arrows going straight ahead in both lanes. So remember, anytime you're given that situation, left lane is for normal driving, the right lane is for overtaking, which these cars to the right are actually doing, or potentially turning right shortly thereafter, a bit like the Asda double in Blythe. Canny lane discipline from there to the right, man, straight out of the chevrons. So you can see the usage of the right lane. Oh, and there's someone undertaking because it's a Mercedes-Benz. What a beautiful piece of work, the Pillock. Right, now we're in the 50, so you should check middle right mirror and then speed up. Obviously this car to the right's trying to overtake, so you should let that happen. If you didn't, if you blocked them, then you could potentially fail for obstructing that vehicle from making safe progress. Alright, we're taking this next turn off here, and this goes down Sandy Lane, which is where the Gosforth Test Centre is. So you'd have to do this either way. So it's now a 40 zone with lots of traffic lights. So remember, 40 with traffic lights you have to be very careful with, because if you're doing 40 and you're not aware of who's behind you, and the lights change, well, we know an amber is a stoplight, not a get ready to stoplight, which is an urban myth completely. So you might have to brake quite firm, so you should be checking your middle mirror really quite often here. So just be prepared for lots of traffic lights down Sandy Lane and the lane discipline of straight ahead. You know, there's going to be lots of lanes going into the industrial estates to the right. So from this direction, shouldn't cause any problems, should be left lane, as you can see here. Going the other way, you might find it's right lane for straight ahead and left lane to cut into these little side industrial areas. Yeah, you can see the car oncoming, they're all in their right hand lane for going straight ahead. There's the arrow. So if you bear that in mind, if you ever go down there, just keep an eye out on the floor. Don't get close to the vehicle in front. And we've got a lovely position here on that van, which means you can still see and adhere to anything on the floor. Man on a foldy out bike there. Interesting. So this is where it's difficult, you know, you keep in a reasonable speed, but those lights may change, all right? So you have to have a good awareness of that. The test centre's on the right there, which has got a filter lane, a protected right turn, so that shouldn't bother you any. Okay, coming round towards Great North Road now, past the test centre, and you've got a merging of a lane from the right, so make sure you check your middle right mirror a lot there, just in case someone wants to fly in front of you. I've asked the student to go to the A1, so you shall see a sign on the left there. Now it's an orange sign with a black writing and black arrows, which is quite odd. Comments from you about why that's orange, I have no idea. So we're turning right towards A1 here, so we're in the correct lane for that. And this roundabout's reasonably easy. It's always quite busy, so just make your approach speed appropriate. So my advice is 15 mile an hour second gear for something that looks busy or interesting. If it looks quite easy, then 20 mile an hour third gear. Okay, so again, if you don't know it, from here, we've got our single lane and we're going right towards the A1. So I think I've paused this sign actually. Yes, I have. So if we're going south, it's going to be left lane to go to A1M City or A1 South. And it's going to be the right lane to go the A1 northbound, which we started to do. So there's 3 lanes. I think I paused this or not. Yep. So left lane, A1, middle lane, A1 South for the overtaking, and the right lane, A1 North. There's a car coming from the right, and my student was like really braking quite firmly there because they believed that they were basically coming to get them. All right, so you've got to have faith in those traffic lights, people. Here's the spiral. So we're in lane number 3, now we're in lane number 2, and then soon to be lane number 1. There we go. So remember, that's how your spiral works. You start in the inner lanes and then it just gently pushes you out without the need to change lanes. All right, now we are heading southbound. So video's nearly done there. And I'll leave it there and we'll try and get a few more bits and bobs about Gosforth to you soon.